Hey, good evening. Hopefully the fan isn't causing too much distortions. It's 80 degrees out. 80 degrees in the shop, and I've had the door open most of the day. I've had enough of this hot spring. I'm ready for winter again. Or, yeah, I'm ready for winter. At least with winter, it was comfortable in here. Well, I already got one. Quarter. Not easy to see, but there's a diamond W. But they would have given it away if I'd have showed that. Good old Williams Super Wrench. But the best thing to do is try to knock the backlog down and get everything try to get things caught up some. But I got I can't see it, I don't think. Oh, actually, yeah, there it is right there. Got the floor fan thing propped up so it. Then I got the printer running. Already started the process. Got to make like a million of these. That way I can line the drawers out. So I think what I'm gonna do is with that snap-on box, I'm gonna have one drawer for quarter, one for 3/8, one for half inch, and one for 3/4. You did comment. Are you talking about live comment where you can actually talk to it? If you're talking about live commenting, as far as voice, that'll probably never happen. Currently, YouTube only allows 2 people, 2 creators at a time. So to have it live where it's just kind of a live chat, that it won't work. But so if you stream, you gotta go in and double check all your settings. I know there's a million settings, and I swear every 3-4 weeks they move stuff around. I set this up a few months ago. Let me see if I have it. It might be through Studio. Might be through Studios where you have to actually pick and choose all your settings. I stumbled into it and I kind of left it the way it was. I didn't want to futz with it because I'm not good with all their little micro settings. So I don't know if I'm doing it right, doing it wrong, or what I'm doing. That's a good question. I may have to look that up because I never had that happen. Come down here. Nope. Let me go over to this one. What I do is I have my old phone to do the video side, but on my monitor, I'm just looking at it through the Studio, and I think it's. I'm not sure which section of the Studio I'm in. I know there's a bad delay. It's like 8 seconds. Let's go here. Channel. Upload defaults. Nope, that's categories. That's moderations. Now, if you're in your prime settings, in your prime settings, so if you're on Studio, all the way in the bottom left, the main gear, which is your prime settings, then you go down to community moderation. Under content controls, you have it for videos and posts that you can dictate settings. Underneath that is messages in your live chat where you can adjust the moderation level. Yeah, I use Studio. It's on a laptop. I have much better luck with the controls, but on my phone, the data appears faster. So you can set, there's 3 settings as far as moderation, whether it's none, basic, or strict. So that would affect the controls. Post in the community. Of course, like I said, I'm not good at it. I just stumbled into it. It worked, and I'm kind of not going to mess with it. So I take it as dumb luck that I got it to work, and I'm not going to jinx it by playing with the settings, because just my luck, I'd end up making a mess out of it. Hey, what's up? So I already got ahead of things. I got a 1/4-inch Williams Super Wrench all tidied up already. Hey, Denny, backlog. And obviously, I got something doing its own thing, making grids. So I finally got the toolbox in place, and if I went ahead, got the printer undone, initialized, got it set up to where I can start making stuff. And obviously, the first thing I had to do, like most people, I had to make a benchy, but I had to go Star Wars style. Then right after that, it was right into tool stuff, because that's what I need the most of. I need to get my tools. Need to get tools where I can organize it better. And I found that somebody has pegs for not just 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch, but they also have pegs for 3/4 drive. My 3/4 drives are just sitting loose in a drawer. Thank you. It ain't perfect because it has no way to keep the drawers closed, because those old plastic spring-loaded things that sits in the handles, they're shot. And I don't think Snap-on even warranties those anymore. So they finally got rid of that mess and went back to a traditional way to lock and unlock the drawer. Well, I'm just glad that the box doesn't look orange anymore. And when you go to grab a drawer or look inside, it doesn't have a whole mountain of grease, grime, and who knows what chemicals. Been through World War III. I had to hammer out a lot of dents. I mean, it's still got some big dents in it, but in order to get those out, I'd actually have to break the internal panels down. And if I was going to break the panels down and then go to that extent, I would have just bought a box that was in better shape. But originally, I was just going to put old tools in it. But then I started looking at stuff, and then I started thinking of stuff, because it's 7 drawers. It's got 2 wide flat drawers. I was like, I could put 1/4, 3/8 ratchets in the top one, halves and breaker bars in the next one down. Then each thick drawer past that would just be dedicated 1/4, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 3/4. I was like, that'd be a better way to organize all the junk I got. And hopefully later this year, I'm going to have another Snap-on box. And that one is going to be dedicated for the really old tools. Yeah, I could put wheels on it, but I'm not paying Snap-on's prices for wheels. And with where I have it sitting right now, yeah, I gotta go that way. And where I have it sitting now, it is so sitting in this chair, sitting low, it would it puts it right about here, so I can use it as an extra table on the other side of me, and it also the vise is sitting lower. So with the vise sitting lower, oops, sorry, jeez, okay, I was gonna get a drink, but then I decided to grab the. Yep, got thirsty, fumbled the phone, and now I don't even remember what I was talking about. The vise now sits at waist high, low waist high. So I've got big vices down at the end of the table, and this is high waist high. That sits at the lower side of the waist level. So it'd be a much easier access. I don't like vices because, especially that one being a tall type vice, I don't want the vice sitting too high. Nice shiny one again. Cool thing about this old one is that's Cornwell. Found that at the bottom of a big tote, the dollar bin tote. Most people don't dig to the bottom, but that's where I find all the nice old ones. Let's see if we get this one looking a little bit better. Pretty sure one of these two by design is a Hazette. Yep. Got hot. Woo. Got a little too toasty for my paws. Let that cool down. Grab the next one. One thing about the little wrenches, they don't dissipate heat well. They grab heat and hold on to it. The only bad thing about working with little small wrenches, making sure your fingers don't get caught up in stuff. So if I stop being chatty, it's because I'm kind of focused on making sure I still have 10 digits at the end of this. Woo! I got hot again. That's Westline. So I think that's the second or third one that I've gotten recently. Get this mess back to the other side. There's my little beastie chewing away. Oh, still got stuff I got to make for it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I got to deal with that tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the first time. I mean, I really don't have to cut the grass for the most part because it's not really tall enough. But I'm still gonna fire up the mower, give it a good run down, and then just rock back and forth. Hey, George, you got to work all night? Well, never mind. I just ended a week on call, so brain ain't braining, and it took that long to sink in what you were saying. So I usually find Ghidorah all the time, but I don't know if that's right side, wrong side, but I finally found a Hazette. I mean, I do like Hazette, especially their smaller tools, but I think it might be the first or maybe even the second one I found from in wrench form. Hey, Don. Sorry, like I said, brain ain't braining. Yeah, tomorrow, not only am I got to deal with the lawnmower, get that riding lawnmower running good, but I got to get the tiller gone through running good because it's time to till and till out the garden. Got to get that garden ready and right, because with what she has planned to put in the ground, I'm already ready. I'm already ready to eat. I am ready to eat. Oh no, we got flower beds all over. That's her little thing. But when it comes to the garden, it's still her thing. I just deal with the tilling and moving of the heavy stuff. But when she gets that garden rolling, woo! I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before. Uh, she was coming in almost every day with a bucket of tomatoes, almost every day. Uh, she had some beans. I hope the beans do good this year, because the beans that she grew is pretty good. It's about so big by so big. I don't know. She just walked out and said she wanted a garden, and we kind of broke the ground up. Oh, it's probably 30 by 30. Not big, but enough for just the two of us. She made pickles a couple years ago. And she had some little red tomatoes. Because when she works her magic and cooks them up, even though I shouldn't be eating all those potatoes because of the starch and sugars in them, but can't help it. I like ketchup. I like sauces. I can't stand straight up tomatoes. We had ghost peppers that I ended up drying out and grinding up into powder. In the following year, they came back, even after tilling the ground and everything else. And I think they came back like 2 years in a row. Not at full strength, but they still came back. Quite a few of them came back. But the ghost peppers, for whatever reason, the ghost peppers that she got and were not the ended up being purple, and they had a lot of pizzazz. Oh, let's see. What's your go-to tool brand? Old school SK. And that's because my grandfather, well, it's funny I say that because here's an SK 6-point. My grandfather is one who brought me into SK. Now, between SK and Cornwell from early days, because that's what they had at where he worked. So, and then I'm kind of partial to older craftsmen because that's what I was given when I was younger to start out with. So I think for me, it's not just, I can make any tool work. As long as you take care of your tools, they'll last you forever. I got my dad's Kmart set from the 70s, still in excellent condition, no flaking chrome. It even put up with me as a youngin' doing things with those tools that they weren't meant to. So as long as you don't abuse your tools, almost any tool company will last and survive. But if you abuse your tools, it don't matter who it is. I have watched brand new Snap-on, Mac, Natco, Cornwell. I've seen them get destroyed because people just abuse them. They just have this disposable world mentality that, oh, I'll just get it replaced. I'll just buy a new one. That's not me. If I get something, I'm going to use it. I'm going to take care of it. And before it even goes back, I just put an impact socket on a TAT Taiwan ratchet when I was sending lag bolts into with the toolbox. It's not going back in my toolbox, in my main toolbox, until it gets cleaned up before it goes back in. That is, I guess you could say it's always been one of my little pet peeves, watching people just use and abuse stuff. Like the guys that, yes, there are times that you're going to have to put some attitude on something because you don't have something. But you don't need to overload something and be that knucklehead that's got to put a cheater pipe on everything just because you're too lazy to walk back to the box and get a bigger tool that you should have got from the beginning. Because, hang on a minute. Let me grab this. I don't know if it'll show up in the video, but may not due to sheer size. So whether you're going from that size or you need to break out that size, you know, nice 3/4 drive or bigger, just use the right tool. Don't break them. Okay. I guess that means I'm going to have to clean that little bad boy right there up next, huh? Let me get caught up with the. I prefer. It's like Snap-on. I like those old hard handles. Not a fan of the instinct handles. I have a set of instinct handles in the toolbox, but I still go after the old hard handle they had. What's crazy? That little tiny one or that big 3/4 drive? Yeah, I am kind of partial to Proto too. I got lots of Tecton. Actually, I got lots of everything. To be honest, I don't. I guess you could say that I don't just. I'm not brand loyal because that's Williams. I'm happy. I got me a Hazette. This right here is Powercraft SK. Oh, but the cool thing about that's an SK 6-point. No, speaking of Ghidorah, there's a Ghidorah. Now, the little box end, that's Proto. And good old Craftsman raised panel. I always look at it this way. I could make. Do I have one running around here? Oh, well, we got a Snap-on sitting right here. SK Wayne, Pennins, Poplar Mechanics, Bonnie. Better hide that before Rob sees it. Exactly. And since everybody makes their stuff just a little bit differently, that because not everybody has the same thickness, the same angle on either the open end or the box end. It's nice to have a wide variety of companies because that might be too thick. Oh, sorry. That might be too thick, but you get another one and, you know, it's thinner and it's just going to be that right one to get you in position to get what you want done. Oh, that's straight Western. I don't know if that's part of Western Auto Group or not. That's Chrome X. Dang. There she is, 12 point. I don't think I have any that are full polish like that. It's my very first full polish. I haven't cleaned it yet, but oh, there's another one. PNC. Since Rob's in the house, here's another Bonnie. There's a Husky full underline. It goes from H to Y. Indestro. Oh. And probably don't know if that's visible, but New Britain. That's just what I had grabbed and tossed on the table to try to sort of kind of get cleaned up. Especially when it's an HD set. Oh, that's charged. Good enough. Yeah, I still haven't had the nerve to dig into that one too much yet. Still sitting in my got to get worked on. A whole lot shinier than it was when I did my little video. I got back in and dug into a little bit more of the cracks and crevices. That's why it's sitting over here. My still need to work, still need to tidy up. And it still kind of grabs. My mom enjoyed seeing that. Oh, speaking of Tecton. Oh, I ain't too proud. I run these for their little for the littles. For the assembly pliers and Needle Nose run task force. They need to be tidied up because that you look at them, they corrode, but overall they haven't failed me. It's like crescent. My little 4-inch crescent wrenches. I have standard and grip handles. Tecton sitting right there too. So I got 2 wrenches done, a mountain to go, and I think I want to get this nasty one, see if I can do something with this, because it says Chrome X quality, but I don't think I've ever dealt with anything that said Chrome X. Projects, nothing big because I got too many tools, but I gotta make a bunch of these, a bunch of parts and pieces. That, I guess you could call that monster a project. So missing the lock. These stupid things don't work, but still, box is in good shape. I'm gonna have to lift the front side about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a quarter at most, because they don't lock down like they should. I just don't want to put weight in it to have them rolling out. But I guess the other project would be grandkids and all that. Oh, and yeah, I forgot. I should have took that one over there. There's a corn wall I just cleaned up too. But I don't recognize this company, and I grabbed it because it was different. I didn't know what was under the slime, grime, and crud. I figured I'd throw it in the bag and bring it home. See what I can find underneath it. But this one is well used because even the little bit of knurling on it is kind of ate up. Finger. No worries. I got 9 more. So yeah, it says Chrome X quality. 9/16, 1/2-inch drive. Got to get the inside cleaned up, but oops, sorry. Yeah, I have no idea. I just through the rusted crud, I saw an X, and I was like, "Well, what's that?" I got to check it out and figure it out. But if you look around the top of it, it is well used. It ain't battered, but it has been used quite a bit in its life. Oh, I'm gonna go that way just a hair. Try to go that way. I don't know if I can get to it. Be working on everything I've been doing out here in the shop, especially dealing with this box and everything. I can't reach all the stuff I need to. contact with anything more than that. I don't want to damage what's left of the stamping. Bring that back to here. Pop that out of the box. Let the Blair Witch run through the woods. Begin again. Still gotta get the rest of it, but oops, upside down. And rolling it backwards. Yeah, I didn't want to run the that fiber wheel across this. I want to try to protect what's left of that, but at least the rest of the body looks decent. Actually, there's something that's been beat up underneath it. There's an M S T, and I can't see. Chromium steel. Probably won't show on the camera, but right there, just above this bottom line, in ultra faint, says chromium steel on it. Oh, cool. I think I only have one bottle away, or yeah. You gonna have to do much modifying to get it in there, or is it just gonna be stubborn routing everything? Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, this one's gonna have to sit for a bit. Well, that's awesome. That's another new thing for from Western Auto. Is that also one of their subset brands too, just straight Western? Because that beveling isn't that far off of each other. And that almost looks like a couple of the Western Auto knurling locations that from a couple other ones I got. And I left that daggone Cornwell wrench back over there. sit and stew for a second. That is a nice muddy mess right there. I don't know whether it's going to be easy to see or not, but I can't. So, yeah, she's ready for many decades more use. Light never works for me. Try to get this one tidied up a little bit. This one, it might need to be soaked. I'm hoping there's still some grooves left. I think this one's just packed full of something. Probably rust. Oof. Yeah, this one was sitting in water. Water, mud, rust. Got a little bit of everything in it down in here. Goodness. Not 100% sure I'm going to be able to do anything with this one. But we'll give it a shot. Ooh. Well, that's got a little bit more possibilities. This one's going to take a lot of work. Woo! Yep, nope. Temperature transition. I decided it was going to get smoking hot. Western Auto, Track Auto, People's Drug Store. You can get almost anything in those stores. I just had one. What did I do with it? I lost the wrench. Oh. Okay, awesome. So there's a West line. It has a baby D at the bottom of the W. So between that one, my Western, my Wizards, very cool. I remember those when I was just a little bit younger. Back when this wasn't gray and I had a whole lot more up here. Hopefully I don't get the dogs barking. That wouldn't be good. It might get me in trouble. Funny. Anything else, the dogs bark up a storm. Except for when I'm banging around out here. Sweet. Got to work on that sometime too. It'd be nice to get that looking good again. Nice fleet. I don't know if I'm going to get all the way around. This thing's still screaming hot from that cut brush being on the inside. But I am making progress on that excessively thick rust and crud in there. I think I will get this one to look respectable again. So what I saw inside, I really didn't think I didn't even think I had the ability to get that tidied up. And I get lucky quite a bit cleaning stuff, but oh yeah. I didn't know Fleet existed till last spring, and I got an auction lot that Had a whole bunch of them in there. I think it was Rob, George, and David is one that told me about them because I was just gonna push them off to the side, like, yeah, okay, I don't know what it is. Ah, I got a toy because I haven't grown up yet. I'm not into collecting these, but I saw it on Facebook Marketplace for only $4, and since it was Iron Maiden, I was like, okay, I gotta have it. I've seen some of these things in Walmart back in electronics area. They had character back then. Nice stamping. Made the tools look nice. Put knurling on it. Nope, still got work to do. But yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm an overgrown Toys R Us kid, but never got into those things. But I couldn't pass it up. Wonder where that came from. I don't know. I see them. It's, the funny thing is, I found that one. It was up not far from where I was working that day, so I ran over and snagged it real quick. Now I see. Apparently, they made stuff for everything under the sun. It would. I'd be surprised if there was something out there that they didn't make one of these. What's it called again? Funko Pop, Rock Pop, Funko Pops. I'm sure they probably made one for everything. And yes, I'm doing this backwards the way I do everything. Usually I do the outside before I work the inside. Let that sit for a minute and oh. Right, we're gonna put these over here because those are done. Never did get my drink. Another one, Giller. Hey, enjoy dinner, Rob. I'll make this look nice. Well, I got a granddaughter and a grandson now, so I'm gonna have to find out what their plans are this weekend. Find out whether they're coming over here or not. But maybe not, because I think Mrs. Bigfoot is worried she's got sinus issues. It's always a good time. I'll be on the floor. I'll play. Getting up off the floor that's a different story. I can get to the floor. Oh yeah. There we go. Maybe, sorta, kinda ish. No rust in there no more. Now I got to make the outside look as good as I can't believe, because I had to break out the pocket pry bar to dig the rust and crud out of there. Oh, I definitely got to try to. Oh, dead. I don't know when the audio went out, but hopefully it wasn't that long ago. I gotta get me a new. Okay, so the audio didn't go out because the display, my little green light there, and this was off. I wonder whether I just happened to look up at the right time. Getting better. But I think it could look just a little bit better. We're going that way. But we're going to attempt it. Gotta be careful with this one because this one will eat metal if I'm not paying attention. There we go. Call this one close enough, good enough. Get back over here. Finally take that Cornwall wrench that I took care of. I'll send that to Rob later. Well, that was that. Badly rusted out. Apparently, I hit stuff on my mouse. That was that badly rusted out socket. That was very much caked. So, 1/2-inch drive, 9/16 Bonnie. I'm good with that. Okay, let's come back. Apparently, my mouse has about a dozen buttons on it. Apparently, my elbow hit the one that kicked me out. I'll set that off to the side. That way I remember to let Rob know. That was the Cornwall I did a little while ago that I forgot about. Daggone, I got like 5 or 6 things done already. I'm considering I'm half asleep. I'm on a tear. I want to try digging that into this rusty one. See if I can make that one look better. It's a little on the rough side. Not as bad as that Bonnie, but still kind of rough. One whether I know I think mine are Bonnie. My other little micro double box ends. I think they're Bonnies. Considering stuff is scattered in piles now, I still probably have, I would say, 2 5-gallon buckets full of worth of stuff to still go through. Oh, no, sorry. I lied. That's just the loose stuff running around. You know, a box here, box there that people have sent me. I only have 5 little quarter drive sockets left from what Rob sent me last summer. Almost done with that one. Then I got a bunch of these dollar store trays that are heaped up and piled up with tools. But I've only pulled a couple things out of that 27-gallon HDX tote that came out of that toolbox. That big black HDX tote, that's still pretty much full. I've only knocked out a couple things, and that was oh, yep, got to go up with the stupids. It's the wrenches that you hit with a mallet or sledgehammer. And my brain is just not spitting the correct name out. They're still sitting in the buckets. Tools come first. Hardware come some decade if I ever get caught up with the tools. But I have a out of recycled OSB and 2x4s. I got a couple little workbenches in the corner up against the wall. One of them is probably got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It has 9 50 in one drawer assemblies in it. And then I've got containers on little micro shelves that I put under the workbench. My grandfather used to put hardware in baby food jars, but me and glass out here don't get along. So I put them in plastic containers, but I did it the same way he did. Just put my twist to it, and then I store all of it in there. Quite often, if I need something, I can find it. It's just going to take a bit to try to root it out. Want to create or fabricate something? I mean, I had to create some fastener assembly for something last fall, and I just went digging through all the stuff I had till I found about the right diameter, the right size, custom shaped the head to make it work, because what they sent was the wrong part. So I got Sam's, BJ's, Costco, that size peanut, M&Ms, pickle jars, because they're nice big in plastic. Those do well at storing hardware. I've been saying for 7 years that I'm gonna go through and try to sort out the hardware a little bit better, get things a little closer to each other, but that hasn't happened. I got some nut and bolt sorting trays that have an open end where you can, after you sort, you can pour. That's usually what I do, is just take it, dump it in a pile, get what I need out of it, then pour it back in. I want to take these two up there. I don't find too many PNC, so I really want to try to get this one tidied up. But I definitely want to see what I can do with this old rusty rack. So time to go is that way again. So there's some of it. Probably can't see too well. That's some hardware under my workbench. There's more hardware. So a little bit of this and that all over the place. But considering my grandparents, they grew up through the Depression, so you never threw anything away. So say this buffer died, was not repairable, you salvage parts off it and repurpose it for at a later time. So I think that's where I got that from. I think this right here is only my second or third PNC tool. There we go. Not bad. Just need to get the insides looking good. Now time to see what can happen with this one. One thing I found is the older tools, the steel is so much better than today's. Because today's tools, if they look this rough, they would not clean up as good. Oh, that's a whoa. CT 1214, but seven sixteenths. It's there, but it's ultra faint. For a second, I thought I had a metric. Woo, it's toasty. This is a Husky USA too. It is, yeah, it's the underline Husky. That'd be a nice addition. I got a handful of the full underline. I have some that are come off the H and they go part way over. This one goes H to Y. That's a full underline. Yeah, I ain't got to do nothing with that one. Just clean the inside. I need to see what its status is. Oh, I got about 20 minutes left on that project. Well, that next plate I got. Cool. Oh, thought I got all the crud out of it, but apparently not. Five hours, 4 hours for the plate, and then an hour of cool down time because I want to make sure that it cools down evenly. I'm not using. Oh, I just made a mess. I'm not using PETG, PLA, or anything like that because it's going to be dealing with tools. I'm using ABS. So with ABS, you need a higher temperature plate and everything. And I also slowed down the process because it's ABS because I don't want it to be in a hurry and a rush to cause any kind of warping. Now I have some PLA and for other stuff I want to do, but it's not going to be tool related. But if it's tool related, no, I want ABS because I want something that's sturdy. Especially if I'm going to end up putting piling on 1/2 inch sockets or even the big 3/4 drive sockets. And I don't want to have to remember which filament grade I use for which plate assembly. Figure it's just easier to keep it all the same type. I did find some other filament. I don't remember which kind it was, especially since I just got the machine a couple weeks ago and finally unpacked it and got it running. So I found a couple other materials that I'd like to use for some other projects. Nope. There's loosely sourced stuff out there. So, because it's from bamboo, I think I don't remember what it's called, to be honest. Oops, wrong one. Maker's World, maybe? Maker Lab. Uh, so you get out there because 3D printers have been around for a long time, and more of them are is becoming. I wouldn't say commonplace, but so many people have them nowadays, and a lot of people are running print farms. So they got 10, 20, 30 3D printers running all the time. So we got people that take 3D modeling, or they are good with CAD type programs. I don't have any of that on my laptop. It used to be pretty decent with CAD. Then just sit there and play with it, design it. But I think when you do that too, you also got to have a very good functional understanding of filament materials, machine capabilities, uh, temperature and time, speed, how fast the filament can be worked before it causes trouble, because you don't want it to run too fast where it you put a second layer before the first layer started to solidify, because then you end up with streaks, lines, waves. You got to kind of find the sweet spot to where it'll do what it does and move around your project where it can cool down, harden enough to get a second or to stack and build layers. Uh, I'll figure it out in 5-10 years. Uh, if I ever have enough time to sit and chew on all the information and what I learned by trial and error. But yeah, with this, I slowed it down some to where it'll, because of the ABS, I only have a single cooling fan in there. I need to order the auxiliary cooling fan that goes on the other side, so it'll blow air evenly across it, so that way it doesn't potentially cool or unevenly cool and cause a warping on one side. If any of that makes sense. If I wasn't so tired, it probably wouldn't sound so much like jibber jabber. But it's hard for me to think and explain when my brain says I need to be asleep. Okay. Well, space travel is, it's just more angles and vectors. As long as you got something to get you in motion, you just got to make sure, because there's really no such thing as a straight line, since everything is, you have everything that's expanding, plus you have everything in elliptical orbits. Then those are in elliptical orbits. Then like right now with the Milky Way galaxy, we're in a spiral galaxy. So we got about 30 things that are doing their own little orbits and rotations that you have to correspond with, plus the fact that the universe is expanding. Just minor details. We won't even get into how gravity impacts things, whether it's gravity coming off the planets, the gravity coming off the sun, the small amount of gravity from everything in rotation, plus a little bit of gravity that's affected because of the rotation of the Milky Way galaxy. Just little things, little details. No, I had a fascination with science, space, astronomy, and all that. I would blame an event that occurred back in May of 1977 for that problem. And don't get me wrong, I did watch Star Trek, but Star Wars is what got me interested in space. Well, that old husky, she's going to live for another 50 plus years. Nice and clean. Good teeth in there. No damage. No chunks taken out. And half drive. This thing will. I bet this thing will outlast today's stuff. I think they need to go back to stamping tools instead of this stupid laser etching garbage. But I have a funny theory on the reason a lot of stuff is laser etched. Because if something is laser etched, let me check this real quick. Oh, nice and shiny. So here's my funny little thinking on laser etched versus stamping, and why companies are no longer. Most companies don't stamp. So many companies went with laser etching, especially the companies that are not super high quality. They're decent quality, but not high quality. Think about consumables. Everybody claims they've got a great warranty on their tools. I got a piece of wire stuck in there somewhere. So everybody claims they got these great warranties. Well, what happens when people have similar tools, similar handles, and all they do is laser etch the company name, part number, and all that on it? So you take anything like my infamous favorite red can, you take a rag, blue towel, little brake clean on it, just do a quick swipe. Tell me what's left of that laser etching that's on there. I've watched it destroy it just like that. Well, guess what? Now you just gotta say these, if they just had standard handles, you couldn't tell what company, who made it. They don't have to warranty it because it looks like other companies. So if they laser etch it and you knock off that laser etching, and other companies have a very similar product, then they can deny the warranty, claiming it's somebody else's stuff, not theirs. Unless you have unique colors, unique grips. It's like in what was it, the 90s? Craftsman had the unique textured charcoal gray, blackish grips. You knew just by seeing those grips, you knew exactly that those were Craftsman tools, only because of those grips. These are similar, but the color, the texture is not the same. The way it's formed, it's not the same. So, but you can visually see it and know the difference between Task Force or old 90s Craftsman. So that's especially with everybody trying to claim they got great warranties, but they're not the easiest to get along with when it comes to actually warranting their tools. Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to play catch up. Can't see it up here as fast as I see down there. Oh, my granddaughter and my grandson are going to have a field day with the tools, because when those will get passed all the way down. Artifact. Where? This artifact? No, this is a dinosaur. I don't know, with the piles of crud I got all over the place, and the fact that a large chunk of the tools and stuff I got in here are 50 plus years old, I think everything in here is an artifact. Yeah, they're gonna learn how to build with bit and braces, egg beater drills. They're gonna learn how to use hand tools before they move up to either corded, pneumatic, or battery operated tools. They're gonna learn how to build using their hands. That'd be an easy cleanup. Western Forge Craftsman drip pin. That'll clean up in blue. It'll last another 30 years easily. I had to put new filters up in my air handler because I've been working on so many tools over the last month. I didn't look up, pay attention. I knew I heard it kick in. I didn't pay attention that my little satin streamers were barely moving. It's a nice air filtration system. It's got a nice 2-inch thick first stage filter that catches the big chunks, and it does a really good job, which is why you see debris here. Besides that, with the way I've got the fan angled, that's why you see debris. Maybe you see debris here, but as soon as it hits, it comes out maybe 2 inches. It goes down, and then it goes down, comes back about 6-8 inches, and goes straight up, pulls across the ceiling. which unfortunately, with all the cool stuff I got on shelves, means I got a layer of dust and crud all over that, and I gotta. Not easy to keep them clean. Like all the toolboxes, the trucks, that old fuel torch. Got an old brass fuel torch that still has the hook. Well, I don't have it close by anymore because I put the toolbox there. But the old-fashioned wood-handled soldering irons. So it still has the hooks to prop that in there. So the soldering iron tip sits in that flame. That's covered. My grandfather's RCA service tech box. I just had to clean that up recently when I was moving stuff around up there. Oh, not just common nails. They're going to learn all about finishing nails and how to set finishing nails too, properly. I was dealing with, I built a frame, just a big U frame, 10 feet tall, 8 feet wide, out of 8x8 posts. I still got to get it put in the ground. I'm going to sink it 2 feet in the ground. It's going to be dual purpose. It's going to have two small, it's going to have, I've got all weather eye bolts to go into it, but it's going to have a swing for the grandkids. I can take them down, change it to larger swings as they get older. But it's also, I also designed it to where it'll hold it, that we can hook a 120-inch screen onto it and set the projector up. So when we have the fire pit going, we can play a movie. So it's a multi-purpose frame assembly. But I did that battery powered drill. Didn't have the attitude with my auger bits that I got because my auger bits are 75, 80 years old. Today's, because I've got a couple beastie cordless drills. They couldn't handle those auger bits. I turned around and I plugged in my old powered Makita, which I used to use for, I used to pull it off an inverter and through an extension cord, and I used to use that for boring underneath sidewalks. That couldn't even hack it. So I had to turn around and go back and get a good old bit and brace, and it just sat there and just ate right through it, no problem. I hate to say it, but I probably got 30 or 40, and there's what, 4 or 5 sizes total. Yet I've probably got 30 or 40 of them up in the drawer. I had a three-piece set, I think it was a 3-piece set that I give my son-in-law. I don't know why, but they're such like gimmicky tools. I seem to be a magnet for them. Let that soak into its thing. One thing is, I have newer ones that have rubber grips on them, supposed, to help absorb the vibration and impact and all that silliness. I still go after my thin, heavily knurled ones that are way older than me. Those are the ones that I go after first. I'm kind of thinking that the ones I go after were my grandfather's. Either that or they were his brothers. Not 100% sure. So there we go. 1/2 inch, 12 point, PNC. I'll tell you again. That'll be good to go right on the rail, just like these other ones. Go right on the rail and get back in action. Is that thing still chewing or no? Yeah, let's see if. Cool thing is, I can see on my phone, I can see how it's doing. So I'd let it run. Took off, met Mrs. Bigfoot for lunch. While we were eating lunch, I was able to pull it up when I was working on something else on another, my little benchy, and I could see it making progress that way. I haven't had a problem yet, keywords yet, but apparently I'll get an alert if I have spaghettification or if there's a clog. And theoretically, this one right here, if there is something that'll cause the interference or disruption, it should pause the build. Theoretically. Because when I had it running, I knew I only had about my other one. I know I didn't have a whole lot of time left to make it because I was running everything at slow speed. but I also knew I didn't want to leave in case something happened, that I needed to be able to stop it, react to it. I can actually, I haven't tried it yet, but if what I saw, I think I can be away and uh, pause the build. And I know I'm going to be learning, it's going to be a hard learning curve, is to pay attention to the spool, gauge how much I have left so I don't worry about running out and then all of a sudden there being a problem. But I think that if it runs out, it detects it, it'll pause it until you reload. So I know some people have done 14, 18-hour builds and they ran out, but the machine kept moving around like it was still extruding filament, and it was a wasted build because it didn't stop. It kept going even though it wasn't building anything up. I know I'm gonna have failures. It's just a matter of time. But for the first time out, not bad. And I had to do, this is ABS, but I had to do Grogu with it. Pretty good detail. Uh, no real lines on the side. It has a thin line here, but that's where it would sit in the water. That's actually shaped like a boat. I know a lot of people, when they do their first benchy, they just do a basic boat or do the boat that has the canopy. Uh, Not sure. I threw that. Uh, I made that go, and then I took off and went to lunch. That's why while we were eating, I checked on it and saw the progress as it was uh, where I could pull it on my phone and uh, check the internal camera on the machine. It's a pretty nice camera. I'm actually impressed with the clarity. What I haven't done yet is I can plug that in and I can do time lapse. Probably seeing a screen to screen isn't that easy, but pretty clear in there. Good lighting for the camera too. But if I go to build something that's not super long term, I might set it up and then plug the thumb drive into the top of the machine, do time lapse, and it'll just take a picture every 30 seconds to a minute or whatever. Uh, then I can set that up. Then I can probably add that to some of my videos if I'm doing anything with tool related. I gotta first. I want to get the decks done, then the plugs for. I'm gonna make a basket full for 1/4, 3/8, 1/2 inch, 3/4 drive. Uh, then I'll start looking at getting processing a basket full for just wrenches, assorted wrenches. Uh, I had my door open all day, and all sorts of bugs came in when the sun went down. I wasn't paying attention. Um, yep, the bug flew in, and now I can't remember what I was thinking. I got to make the pieces for the sockets all the way out to three. I think they actually go all the way out to 1 inch drive too on the one that I found. I need to make them for wrenches. Then I'm looking at I'm probably gonna get the make some for quarter, 3/8, half-inch ratchets. But I think what I want to do with the ratchet side is, because playing with older tools, I've got so many different thicknesses. Plus, I have like that old stubby SK, which has got a huge, thick handle to it, big, massive head. Even though it's probably, I think the thing's only that big total. But I think what I want to do is I want to get it to where that drops in, so it just sits the anvil sits in it, and then I can stagger them back and forth, back and forth. Oh, we've had bugs for probably about a month. The last couple, probably 2 weeks, I'm trying to figure out how to say this nice. I call them flying a-holes, but all the wasps, anything that'll sting you, they've been out running crazy. Even when we drop back uh, down in the 20s at night, and it comes back up to 60s, 70s, and 80s in the daytime, they're out full bore. Last night I had one, it was a little guy, he's only about that big, landed right on my neck while I was out here working. Didn't get stung, but because I felt that, I thought it was just something I was doing that it just flung up in the air and landed, and I swiped my hand, and all of a sudden it went over on the workbench, and I saw him. Then all of a sudden the wings started fluttering. I was like, yeah, nope, you got to go. I got a picture while I was at work of a very fat bee. When our temperatures, we were in the upper 70s for a couple days, and then it dropped down into the low 40s. I got a picture of a very fat bee on one of our connections after I opened our box. He wouldn't budge, wouldn't move. You could kind of, you could touch him if you wanted to. He wouldn't budge. So he kind of went back into a dormant state. But the critters are loose. We have Mama Fox. She's back in the backyard again. So this will be, I think, our 7th year in a row that they're denning up in our backyard. Last year we had 5 kids. Usually we have 2. Usually the female whichever female comes back usually has 2 or 3. But last year we had 5. My wife's not sure. She thinks there might be 4, possibly 5, but the kits are only this big, so they're little fur balls, and it's hard to tell with them hopping around. Yeah, we have black bears down here. Nothing to worry about. Not like up there. I'm not afraid of a black bear. Like up in Michigan, and Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, Canada, them brown bears, they got attitudes. It's almost like they got roid rage issues because they just got attitudes. Black bears, not a problem. More times than not, they ain't gonna mess with you. But the brown bears, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think they got rage issues because they think they're just the most hatefulest things out there. We don't get too many in our yard, but every now and then we'll have one hang around for a day or so. But everybody in the county, everybody talks about the sightings, whether they're hitting some triggering some of his cameras. But you know when a bear's been in the air around your house. You walk outside, you smell it, you know it. You go out there, smell it. It's thick, it's in the air. It's one of those. You say, yeah, nope, that was a bear. Nothing else is going to produce that smell. I do have the occasional traffic jam on my way to work. Uh, every now and then we either get cows or horses out in the roads. The horses, at least, you yell at them and fuss at them, they know better. They go back they go back where they belong. The cows, they just sit there and stare at you like, huh? What do you mean I'm not supposed to be out here in the middle of the road? We got a lot of them just hanging around our yard. Usually we have 3 or 4 that stay close, but we've had 8 or 10 just roaming around the yard. And we know that they're there because it's usually a doe and 2 or 3 young ones that we see. But we have trees, we have Leland cypresses that magically get all scraped up. But that's one thing we know that we got more than just those 3. They go after her plants. That and the amount of droppings that are run in the yard, that definitely lets us know we got more than 2 or 3. Ain't got none done here. I still think, yes, that's the crazy side of me. I would love to have a lot of the people I know down around here turn around and actually see a live moose. I think they'd lose their mind. Seeing them on TV is one thing. Seeing one walking across the road where you can actually see how massive they are, that's something different. You know, 'cause too many people, if you see them on TV, you don't have a good, you don't have a good way to gauge its size and aspect ratio of it against something else. Because on TV, because you can be misled on TV, called forced perspective. Like what was that movie with that Christmas movie, Elf? All they did is change the size of the desk, place other and scale stuff down, and just moved him forward. And with the angle of the camera, made him look so huge against everybody else when in reality he really wasn't. It was just it's the way your eyes and brain work. Uh, we have when I go to and from work, I see 20 or 30 along the side of the road, and they'll be 2 or 3 feet off the side of the road. And when my work truck, I roll by, they just kind of look at me and just go right back to eating. It don't phase, doesn't bother them. Yeah, we got a hardware cloth. We got a roll of hardware cloth. I threw garden stakes up. They stay out of her garden for the most part. Now I can't say the rabbits stay out, but the deer do. They just eat her roses and all the other plants that she grows. We used to. We haven't done it in years because she started doing more and more flowers. But we had a mineral block that we kept in the backyard out in the tree line. So what we didn't just put a salt block out for them to go after. We actually put a mineral block out there, give them a little bit more than just salt. But when they went and started going after her plants, we stopped putting the mineral block out in the backyard. We put the salt block where if we were sitting and watching TV. Have a good night. Thanks for joining. We had the salt block probably 60, 70 feet out off the back door. But we had it sitting in a position where we're sitting and watching TV. We could just look out the window and enjoy watching the deer. We had 3 types of woodpeckers out here too. So we got the little woodpeckers that are about this big. Got some average sized ones this big. And then we got the big pileated ones that I call woody woodpecker. And when he's going to town on a tree, it sounds like a jackhammer. Got a little bit of severe pitting to it, but 15/64, little severe pitting there, some more pitting in other areas. But in the grand scheme of the planet, that Williams Super Inch is right back in action. It'll last another 50 plus years. Now, most of my ignition wrenches that I've had for the last 35 plus years, they're my Craftsman ones from the 80s. It's only recently that I've stumbled in. Well, that's the bigger of the batch, but it's only recently that I'm finding Williams, Proto, Bonnie's. I've never seen the midgets, anything other than Craftsman's, at least except for the last, like I said, about the last year. Oh, I gotta tidy this one up. This will be it. This would be a neat little one. I just realized what this was. At least I think I saw it. Yes, it is. I can say this will be the smallest one I've ever had. At least from this company. I think it's a 3/16 and a 7/32. As tiny as this is, I'm definitely not going to attempt it on that big wire wheel. That thing would probably bounce off my head and all four walls. It'd be gone for a long time. Yes, I am. And I'm not going to complain. Not a bit. The only reason why I had suspicions on this one is because of a date code marker. Probably not as old as I think that I hope it is, but still. Yeah, this is going to be fun. That's only because the parent company is what triggered my thinking on this, and I proved it right. So let me look at where's it? Jesus. Okay, 1960. That's pretty cool. Drop my wrench in the need to clean pile. But when I saw J1214, that's what caught my attention. Nope, I can say it's not the oldest from this company that I have. My grandfather, I have one older, way older than this. I have a 1931. It's a double open box end, or sorry, a double box end. Uh, so there she is. But that right there, I saw that under some of the gunk, and I was like, wait a minute, I recognize that date code. So there she is, a 1960 Blue Point. If it'll, yeah. So 7:30 seconds by 3/16. I said, almost forgot, but yeah, seeing that date code and then seeing the 1214, that told me it was a Snap-on type serial number. Let me see if I can find that bad boy. Oops. Still learning how to navigate this. Ooh. Not easy to see because there ain't a whole lot left in it. But that was my grandfather's 1931 Blue Point. Not easy to see, but there's the asterisk right there is the date code. Wow, I got like 10 or 11 items knocked out tonight. That's crazy. Oh, what do we got? 91% done. Then I'll let it sit for an hour. So I'll peel off the plate tomorrow morning. Oh, I just pedal paddle. Yep, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. No, I like keeping old tools going. especially the old ones, the companies that are long gone, or the companies that are now, how do I put this in a nice way? They're the Scott. They've turned themselves from quality toilet paper to Scott single ply toilet paper. So I gotta keep that old stuff. Keep the old stuff going. All right, you guys want a good laugh? I found these at a yard sale. I got 2 of them. Who remembers hanging these off their right there in the windowsill, so you had somewhere to put your little cup of coffee. But the best part is, who knows what that is for? And there you go. Check it out. They've got a pack of cigarettes in the on the original sticker. Got your little plastic coffee cup with the handle and your pack of smokes. I stumbled into 2 of them at a yard sale. And because it still had the original stickers on it that still showed this, I had to have them. So obviously I got stuff all over here. Stuff all over here. Stuff all over here. All up in there. Ooh, I don't know what I've done. I hit something. And do I kind of turn around? Yeah. There's a pile of older wrenches. Hinsdale's, Isco, more super wrenches. That's why I think that the ones that I found may finish the set that I started with. Honda Motors. There's a complete set of Westlines with the metal clip. And this is where things got out of control and why I needed another toolbox. These are all old wrenches I've tidied up. And more. There's a bunch of Hinsdale round handle double box ends, bigger ones. And a few more. And some of the big boys. Like the L-Check. The Bonnie I just did. Big old Williams. Dayton. Challenger with the Spartan head. Then my oddball tools. Now you figure that's all toolbox there. That was just four drawers right there. Oh, then you got a 52-inch right here. Plus a snap-on that's coming in. Well, apparently Jesse is in the process of building his space. He's got a nice shop getting built. Uh, I I would love to be able to build a shop out. I would love to have like a 40 by 60 shop, and then I can turn around and just throughout the course of time, as I acquire toolboxes and stuff, just I could have a section that's just all for woodworking, metalworking, and then just a whole section that's just older boxes with just older tools. And then I can have my everyday go-to grabs over by. I want 2 lifts. I want a 4-post and a 2-post lift someday. So I found a 4-post that has adapter plates, so it'd be big enough to hold my that oversized pickup truck of mine, but they have adapter plates that would make it narrower, where you can get small tractors on it, lawn mowers and stuff, and then just that it would allow it to draw it in where you get narrower, smaller stuff on it and still use it. Thought that would be cool, because that'd be kind of a multi-purpose type thing. So if I need to work on the mower, I could just roll that bad boy on there, and I wouldn't have to crawl around, lay on the ground, and crawl up underneath the stupid thing. You figure I got a ton of other stuff that I still got I still probably got about 15, 20 items that Brandon had sent me. I still got stuff that Dale sent me, Bill, George, Rob. I don't know. I'm at a loss for everything that everybody has sent me that I still am trying to get cleaned up and tidied up. But it'd be fun. It'd be fun to be able to make a wall full of older toolboxes, like some old proto boxes to just put protos in. I just got, it would be a blast. You're right. That Snap-on box is what totally disrupted, because I was staying at a fairly fluid pace where I wasn't too far behind. But I don't know. I got that, what, 4 or 5 months ago? I had no idea from the cruddy pictures. I thought I was just going to have 1 5-gallon bucket total of tools, and then the rest would be just junk. I didn't expect all the tools out of it that I found. I still got a couple in there that I really want to work on, but I got to have time, because I've got actually, let me grab it. I don't know if anybody. Avalanche. See what I did with it. I got 2 that I want to clean up. I'm going to shine them up, and then I'm going to blue them. But I just don't have time to work on them. So that one's got a little bit of rust to it. But yeah, it's a Williams, but that is three-dimensional. There's another big old Williams. Yeah. Normally, a lot of these sockets that I've cleaned up and tidied up still had the owner's marks on them, which is no big deal. But that was a mess doing it that way. But that one Williams that bent, that was custom done. It wasn't actually made that way. Somebody actually heated it up and bent it, and then they ground and shaved the head down to where it'll fit in. Well, it's the same as what they did with the striking wrenches. That's what I meant to say earlier. Striking wrenches. Because I had a proto striking wrench that I had to shine 2 out of 4 sides because I had to grind, and it took quite a while to grind down all of that weld that they put on for the initials on that one. But those are going to be big projects for sure, because it's going to take a lot of time to carefully grind it down, try to blend it back into the original metal, but I don't want to cause any waves. But I got to keep that the rest of it nice and circular all the way down to the point. That'll be one of my projects that when I go in and start it, I don't want to be bothered until it's completely done, because I'm going to start it and just totally work that thing end to end. But I figure get it super shiny and then turn around and blew the snot out of it with G96. Put 2 coats of G96 on it, let it do its thing, then turn around and come back over the top of it with Oxbow Blue. Let it get really dark. I think it'll look good that way. Well, the Beastie is shut down, so that's another plate down. 464 more plates to make to deal with the boxes. But no, my silly idea, because I have, and that 52-inch underneath, that's where my go-to sockets are. I have quarter, 3/8, half-inch, shallow, standard, mid, deep, and assorted. But, well, not in chromes. That would be in the impacts. All the rest of the chromes are just, standards. But my deep wells are in two other big drawers. So I figure if I separate quarter, 3/8, half-inch, 3/4, then all the different sizes of quarters will be all together. 6-point, 12-point, and the same for 3/8, half-inch. That way I don't have odd stuff sitting in different drawers. That's just my goofy thought and theory on trying to organize. That and moving it over to this box with having 2 drawers for ratchets kind of frees up the cluster since I have 1 or 2 ratchets. Yeah, that's it. It's just 1 or 2. But my favorite quarter drive ratchets are my grandfather's snap-ons because there's a 1950 and a 1951. And that series was actually retired in 1958, and they stopped making repair parts for it. Because I took detailed pictures of both of them, emailed Snap-on, and they responded like the next day and said, "Hey, give them a couple days. They need to research it." And when they came back about 3-4 days later, they're the ones that told me that the year of those 2 ratchets and when it got retired, and there is no rebuild kits for it. And they would not suggest that I try to adapt a newer rebuild kit in the last 50 years into it. Just got done with the Fairmont one. Sweet. I have some Fairmonts, but they're the old chunky wrenches. I don't have any engineered wrenches from Fairmont. I got a couple that are Williams and Bonnie, but Fairmont, I do have. I was going to grab it. It's in a small bucket somewhere. I got a little chunky wrench. It's about this big. It's been through a lot, but I kind of scrubbed it with cleaner than a cloth a little bit because I thought I felt lumps on it. And you could, because Fairmont Cleve always put their name was always raised. It's almost flat. That's how much use that wrench had gotten. That fair and part of the M is pretty well gone, and you can see part of the M and the OUNT is just barely there, and then a little bit of the cleave behind it. No, I'm not digging through that because there's probably 40 or 50 sockets and wrenches. That's where I pulled these out of. That was from the last time I went down to North Carolina to that flea market. I just picked it up because it was an old USA chunky wrench, and I didn't realize it until I was grabbing some to work on tonight, until I wiped it off and realized what that company, that it was a Fairmont on hiding in there. Oh no, I did these a year ago. No, I did these a year ago before we went up to Jacktown. I usually end up wearing the other one, the olive drab one. But I do have two shirts that should be coming in the next couple weeks. But quite often when I'm out here, I don't wear either the two shirts that I made last year. I don't want them all tore up. Don't want them all greasy, grimy, or full of wire. But I threw this on when. Yep. I threw this. Okay, I hear you. You're done. Printer plays a little bit of music. Let me know that and there it is. Now it's telling my phone that I'm done. That it's 100% done with the task. I bet money that's what it is. Yep. Task success. So that one's done. To be honest, I don't even remember what's on the back of this one. Oh, that's the one that's got the refrigerator. I think. Yeah. I play with the computer so much, and I change images around so much. I don't remember what I put on my shirts. Uh, oh no, Mrs. Bigfoot. She's long. She's dealing with sinus issues, so she went to bed early. The beepy beepy. That's actually the 3D printer telling me that the project that I had in there is actually completed. It's successful. Uh, it's supposed to tell me if there's an error or a problem. It's supposed to alert me. It's supposed to pause the build and actually send me an alert to let me know, hey, go check the printer. There's an issue. Let me see if I don't even know if I did a screenshot of the shirt. Oh, well, I did do a new shirt with this one up front, but my little vintage tool action figure is that picture is on the back. And I'm blaming Resto Rob for that because he's the one that sent the original stock action figure of him, me, and George. And when he sent me those action figure images that he created, I went wild with them. That's where I've been playing with. I take the original one and then I modify it from there. So that little baby Proto is looking good again. This might stay here. Hang on. Yeah, this one's staying here. This is that right there is the right diameter, and it's got just enough drop in. It works perfect on the nuts that hold the tires on my RC trucks. So it's got just enough drop in that I can use it to remove the nuts that hold the RC truck tires on. Ooh, you got. Well, I'm not releasing that unless I get approval. But I did do a cool one because Rob made a three-person action figure single pack. I just don't know what I did with it. I know I tinkered with them. I know I give it a whole well, before the AI realized what I was doing, I did the singles and the 3-pack. I give it a good Iron Maiden twist to it. But I went back. I did that a couple weeks ago, and I went back and tried to do it again, and it threw up the big. The yellow flags went flying, and it just flat said it can't do that because of Iron Maiden trademark, the trademark with Eddie, their mascot, and all that. So I got away with it. Then apparently the AI realized it learned over the course of a couple weeks, and now it flagged it, and I can't. I can get a similar kind of that old style to it, but they won't do anything that actually looks like Iron Maiden or Eddie or any of their albums. But I was messing with something where it actually let me. Gosh, you know what? Wonder whether I did it to mine. If I did it to mine. Nope. Let's do this. Doggone, I had it. Where did it go? Yeah, unfortunately, it. So you give it from somewhere in time, and then during the same time I was playing with that, I got away with doing a Mandalorian and Boba Fett style. Can't get away with it now because apparently after that night of me playing with it, it learned within a couple weeks. I went back and I tried to do and tweak and tune it, and it just flat threw up the copyright flag. Says they can't do that, they can't do this, and all that jazz. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I've done a dozen items tonight. I got a long day of playing in the garden and the mower. Not looking forward to it, so I think I'm going to call it a night. And since it's after midnight, crawl my happy butt in bed. I think that's what I'm going to do. So everybody have a good night, good weekend. Hope your weather is good. Good luck in the hunt. Later.